Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a new moon in Libra reading for you on October 21st. Libra is in the moon and the sun are in the very last degrees of Libra, which means that we're invoking a kind of cusp energy, which means that the energies partake of both Libra and Scorpio, emphasized by the fact that the very next day the sun moves into Scorpio and Neptune moves back into Pisces in retrograde motion. So this is really emphasizing the movement of Venus, the ruler of Libra. I don't mean to make this too jargony, but the essence of Venus's powerful energy is on our feelings, our values, our sense of security, our sense of aesthetics, beauty, balance, harmony. And this is having a dramatic effect on the way we view relationships with fresh eyes, with new information, and the way we allow ourselves to emerge, particularly allowing our dreams to communicate with various aspects of ourselves as the basis for all relationships. I pulled from the Talisman Oracle the Magical Power card for you, Cancer, and I'm going to read this from the guidebook. This is a beautiful talisman deck, oracle deck. We are born with a special gift of magic. We often overlook this extraordinary power to bring happiness to those around us or into our own hearts. In the center of it all is the powerful emotion of love. By setting up our intent, we can create a new world. Believing in ourselves begins with loving and being kind to who we are, understanding our limits, and pushing just a little further to better ourselves. In these ways, we become closer to fulfilling our purpose in life. The dragonflies start their life as larvae in water and later rise up into the air and fly. They are our connection with nature and our guides to the realm of magic. Use this card to strengthen your intent or awaken your magical gift. Focus on the magical hexagram and the powerful energy that spreads on the card. Feel the energy, the charge of life feeding your ability. The dragonfly lifts itself into the air and flies away. Follow the winged messenger. Beautiful energy. I love this. Particularly centered in love, which many of you have a particular and extraordinarily heightened sense of emotion, of need, of care, of concern, all expressions of love. The card for your overall energy is the Temperance. And the Temperance is the magical, graceful healer of your own life. This is you channeling the energy of the divine, refining your efforts as you approach and engage with challenges, obstacles, all the storms of life that smooth out the rough edges, give us our sense of integrity and grace under fire. As we move closer to the things that matter to us, the things that we are committed to as truly belonging to us or expressing who we are, the storms don't lessen, unfortunately. So for whatever challenges you faced, the closer you are to your sweet spot in life, the more you are challenged. But the beauty of the Temperance card is your ability to no longer see challenges as things that block you or stop you. These are simply gifts through which you are refining your nature and your approach to life, ways that ultimately aid you in getting to the things that you desire. Underneath the deck is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is the perfect complement to this idea of grace under fire. This is undergirded by work. Every challenge you have had to work through with thought, with positive intention, with a faith in yourself, no matter what the outer circumstances. This is about your faith that leads ultimately to the gentle improvement of yourself, your skills, the personal development that you understand goes along with being prepared for success. In the present, we have the Eight of Swords. I can't tell you how many times I've shuffled these cards, and this has come out for a number of use in the present, in this very location. And I understand it in a larger social context as a kind of social anxiety that we all may be experiencing as we're thoughtful, as we seek information about details in our world, how our world functions, and on whose behalf we may be overwhelmed with opinions and agendas of others. This is you trying to think in through the minutia of a project or moving forward in ways that are overwhelming, confusing, overanalyzing, overthinking every detail. And this card does suggest that you actually know the answer to your question or your many questions. You already know where you're going. You may not know all the details of how. You probably have a very good understanding of why, but overthinking it undermines your intuitive gifts, those gifts that are connected with spiritual guidance in whatever form you experience them, does know where you're going and instead suggests that you relax into that intuition as a way of experiencing, expressing the faith that you already have, the commitment you've already made to this path, to this project or relationship or situation that you're in. In the past, the World card. This is a closing, a beginning, the closing that prepares you for a new beginning. So this feels very much like a leveling up for many of you. You've stepped into a new arena. You've been moved to risk some greater challenge, potentially a greater fall if you're not successful. But your previous growth and successes, achievement, have let you know that you're ready for more. You're not ready to stop, rest, or end this. It is natural to be afraid. It is natural to worry about things that you can't control, and you already know the answer to that. In terms of not allowing those fears to block you or stop you. They're there to help you consider carefully what you are doing and making sure that what you're doing is important enough to you. But they're not there to stop you. You have everything you need. You wouldn't be graduating from the level you're on without a commensurate level of achievement. In the future, we have the Eight of Wands, and this shows that things are going to start moving very quickly. Another 8, so you've already done all the work. Not all the work, but you've prepared. You've done all the work in preparation for this next step. You've made the contacts. You have observed those that are working in a way that you admire, you would like to emulate. You're making connections with people that have resources and knowledge that you need, and you're allowing yourself to join in with those that you feel are in alignment with your goals. And doing so, you're allowing yourself to get swept up into something you've already started, but you had little idea of the power of your effort. And now you are being noticed, you are being invited, you're being welcomed in, you're finding matches among a new association, a new group of associations, so that you are able to accomplish something that you hadn't been able to accomplish on your own. This is exciting. This is giving you a sense of real world impact. And that's what you're looking for. I'm going to clarify these cards with the Tarot del Toro, which was created by the artist and actor Benicio del Toro, as kind of a light way of acknowledging Samhain, which is the Celtic harvest, New Year feast and festival ritual. It's also about the thinning of the veil. We celebrate it in a playful way here as Halloween. The thinning of the veil again is emphasized. The ability to move between worlds. Day of the Dead is another cultural celebration that acknowledges the same thing. We speak to our ancestors. We respect them. We venerate them as a way of maintaining that real connection between those that have come before us and all the gifts that they've given us. I'm going to, if this reading is resonating for you, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, and above all, share this with others if you think they might enjoy it. And I love your comments. I appreciate your gratitudes and acknowledgments that something has moved you here. So thank you for that. So we're going to start with the Past the World card and clarify with the Four of Cups and the Ace of Blades. The Ace of Blades is the Ace of Swords. This is revelation. It's interesting because this is showing me that you have allowed yourself to see the truth. And that truth looks like a somewhat of a dissatisfaction with where you are now, where you have come to. Not that you're not proud of your achievement, but you're aware that something is missing. That you're looking, now that you've been practicing as a matter of course and lifestyle, finding support, being visible, finding those who see you, that recognize your value. You are understanding that you want more, that there is more connection that you can have in the world. There's more impact. And this is a result of your being honest with yourself, being truthful in seeking the justice. You recognize in that truth that you are, that you require, your talents require a bigger audience, more opportunity, new connections, a greater impact on the world. And this is really beautiful. And necessarily, the force of this sword of truth cuts in so many ways that we sometimes shrink from the idea that some success is not enough, perhaps, that we want more impact. That may be in some kind of clash with how you see yourself, perhaps feeling comfortable working on your own. But this is saying, no, you have so much more to give, and you're willing to take the steps to make that happen. In the present, we have the Eight of Swords clarified by the Four of Pentacles, or the Four of Discs, I think they're called. They look like wheels to me, gears, and the Ten of Swords. So you're definitely releasing a lot as you are, again, clarifying what is important to you. What do you need to keep, as you have already created a foundation from which you can build into the future. but how much of that is yours, how much of that can be leveraged in a way that does not resonate with old stories that you have told yourself or been told, social expectations, the desire to conform. It feels like that's still something of a battle for you. You're still understanding whether the belief, the ideas, the norms are things that are worthwhile in conforming to. Even as you recognize your strong individuality and unique stamp, you really don't want to lose the support that you feel you have been gifted with. And you want to utilize those resources in a way that works for you. But you're unclear as to how one can move forward, build on something that you may feel uncomfortable about accepting. You may have misgivings about the world in which you are entering, greater professional success, more visibility, the kind of people you'll be interacting with, maybe the kind of money that you're exchanging feels unnecessary or excessive in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. These are things that you are allowing as you sit on your foundation very carefully and very cautiously. So I do believe that you are entering into a new world, perhaps a more abundant, more visible world, and you're weighing the cost of greater visibility, earning more money, very aware that those do not in and of themselves lead to success. So how do you preserve what you've created is a question many of you may be asking yourselves. And in the future, the Eight of Wands is clarified by the Death card and the Two of Swords. This is complicated. I do feel that many of you are on the verge of some kind of ambitious pursuit, and that you're aware that you don't want to do it on the terms of the same terms, perhaps, that have grounded you in the past, that you are challenging some of that success through your methods and your materials, whatever you're working with, however you put that out into the world, however others are interacting with it. You are looking at doing it differently than the status quo. Perhaps this has to do with inheritance or money that you've been gifted that you want to expend in the way that serves you and your product best, your creation the best way. But there also feels to be a certain amount of guilt about what you're leaving behind. There's a concern that you are leaving behind those who you believe have depended on you in your former role, have seen you in a particular way, and although you have long ago recognized that you're on your own path, there is a kind of looking over your shoulder at what it is you believe you'll be leaving and what the consequences of that may be. You don't know the consequences, but the sense of guilt, the sense perhaps of embarrassment or shame, even as a result of your success, kind of like a survivor's guilt. You're doing so well, and perhaps others that you were once connected with are not doing as well, or perhaps you've stayed behind when others have gone on and done well. Whatever the challenge is to you, you're recognizing that you're at a crossroads and you are being thoughtful, you're being honest with yourself about moving forward, and you are trying to elevate your intuition, your spiritual guidance as a measure of the usefulness of these new opportunities for you. I'm going to finish this reading with a Seed and Sickle Oracle and hope that this reading has been helpful to you. I picked the Asphodel, and it's number 30, which reduces to a number 3. Number 3 is the beautiful Empress, the card of empowerment, balance, harmony, beauty, aesthetics, a strong love and devotion to crafting, productivity. This feels very apropos for many of you. And I'm going to read from the Dusk guidebook because I feel like there is a lot of support that you're needing on this path. Number 30 is the Asphodel. In Corsica, where asphodel grows prolifically, a person who has been gone from their homeland for a long time is said to have forgotten the asphodel. Lately, it's felt as though you're nostalgic for something long past, maybe an absent friend, an old place you used to go, or a food you haven't eaten for a while. Reaching out to that friend or recreating that time or place or visiting it, if you can, is exactly what you need to lift your spirits. Thank you, Cancer. If you've enjoyed this content, check out more content here. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. And until next time, namaste.